Here they come. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hello.
So nice to see you all. Welcome to Art Party Central. We love seeing your faces. So if you are willing, please turn your camera on at the bottom of your screen and also click the chat feature. The chat feature does work best on a computer, but the chat feature will enable you to communicate with us. And also you will see the artist websites pop up during their presentations, and you can let us know which pieces you're loving or send questions, and we will do our best to respond to them and also ask the artist the particular items that you're interested in. So let us know in the chat where you're joining from. Let's see. I haven't anyone here from the West Coast or New York. Oh, I see. Grafton, Mass, Michigan.
Wow, so many places.
Florida, Long Island. Fabulous.
Ladies.
Yep, Alexandria, Virginia. Well, so nice to have you all here today. I want to let you know a couple of technical things before we get started. If we have any major glitches and we have to end the party abruptly, we're going to post the updated link to the top of the artpartycentral.org website. So there will be a link ready for you to just pop back on to a new party, and we will continue along the way. So now that all that technical stuff is out of the way, let's have a quick cheers for being together. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Welcome. So nice to see you. Oh, so we're going to go ahead and mute everybody now. Don't be offended. It's just Zoom protocol. Okay, now that I've unmuted myself, I can actually introduce myself. I am Kathleen Tesnakis, and I'm really excited to be your host today. I have been in the art and craft industry for over the last 25 years as a wearables artist with my recycling design company, Ekologic. You can check out my website at ekologic.com, and that's ekologic.com. I'm also one of the 5 co-founders of Art Party Central, and I'm just delighted to be here sharing our love of handmade with you today. Being at one of these parties is a chance to build community and to meet new makers and find out more about the artists you already know and admire. So thank you for being here. I'm also lucky to have another Art Party Central co-founder, and that is Sam Stone from Swan&Stone Millinery, and she is here with me today helping co-host. You can find her as admin in the chat if you need anything. Feel free to reach out to her, but also make sure you check out Sam's website at swanandstone.com. And I think Sam is popping both of those websites in the chat for you now, so you can get used to that concept, because we'll be doing this for all of the artists. So today we are joined by 6 super talented artists. Sue Shannon of Chi Pottery, Melissa Stiles from StubbornStiles, Barbara Poole from B.Felt, Alicia Niles from Alicia Niles Glass, Angela Flaviani from Bottega Flaviani, and Judith Haas from Judith Haas Jewelry. Let me tell you how this party is going to shake out. Each of the artists will give a presentation, and then if time allows, I will ask them 1 or 2 questions that were previously submitted. At the end of the party, we will raffle off one $50 gift certificate for each artist's website. That is 6 chances to win just for hanging out with us today. You do have to be present, so please stick around. We will also give you a special discount code at the end of the party, which will be good for all of the artists' websites, as well as the host and the co-host websites. At the end of the party, we will open up for chatting and invite you to unmute yourself and mingle. If we have any unanswered questions at that point, we will go back and ask the individual artist. Okay, let's get to the fun stuff. Our first artist today is Sue Shannon. Sue, take it away.
Thanks, Kathleen. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Vermont. We finally have a 60-degree day here and the sun is out. So we're all pretty bonkers here with excitement and joy and mud and slush. But in my studio here, as of late, as the season's been changing, I have been thinking, what can we clean out and what can we rearrange? What can we put away? Those sorts of things. So here in my studio, as a potter for the past 30 years, I've been creating practical dinnerware and practical servingware. Today, I happen to put all of my dinnerware away because I'm really just thinking about kitchen counters and what can go on kitchen counters. So, and also within the home, because it's all about that, getting rid of, shaking off the winter and getting our connection with reorganizing and getting ready for spring and summer and whatnot. The pottery that I make is all made by me on the potter's wheel. I spent 30 years developing it and developing my skills. Through that time, it just seems that probably more artists can relate to this, and anybody who's way deep into their career. But the longer you do something, the quieter and calmer you get and the more steady and streamlined you get. So that has led me to these very uniform pieces that are all slightly varied, but they're also quite uniform. To do it by hand is, I don't know, I think it's just doing it hundreds and hundreds of times, and some pieces even just thousands of times. But all the dinnerware all of the kitchenware that you see today, everything is dishwasher safe, everything is microwave safe, and everything can withhold a lot of dings and bumps and just being very normal in your kitchen, which means you drop things or you bump things. And maybe I'll give you a little, see if I can give a little demonstration. You hear that ding? So that's, things that have been fired really well. Anyway, so on my shelves, and what I think about in the kitchen, of course, storage is a big deal. So, and we all have our favorite utensils and things that we like to have. So I created a smaller utensil jar and a larger utensil jar that I have 10 different colors. So all of the pottery has green dots on them, and they have an opposite spiral. And each one is done by hand, the dots and the spirals, all the hand painting. So it keeps the livelihood and the vivacious feeling throughout. So let me show you, you can see about the size of the small utensil jar. And I also make the larger one because we all have some taller utensils that we like to keep at the ready. So other things that I also like to keep at the ready, I have these, boy, this is really far away for you, huh? How about that? These fun sponge holders. And the sponge holders are really popular. Everybody really likes to have a dry sponge. And these you just keep right by the sink, as well as soap pumps that they work just like a regular old soap pump would. And these, I always send out 2 pumps when someone places an order for these. These are also good for lotion. They can go anywhere. And spoon rests. So we all like to have a nice, neat place to put our spoons. Another thing that I'd like to share with you too are some canisters that I have. I've started to make canisters maybe 2 years ago. And so it's the same utensil, small utensil jar shape. And I get to add the lid on top. So these are about 6.5 inches tall, 5.5 inches wide, and a nice big generous knot on top. And lately these have been exciting for people. I've had a run on the canisters lately. So they're good for coffee, flour, sugar. You know, everybody knows how to use a canister. One thing that I wasn't totally, I have a few of, but in our homes, we like to have sugar. And so I just took out the little spoon, but I love to make these little jars, sugar jars. They have each a nice little hole on top. So they come with a little wooden spoon, but I find most people have their own spoon that they like to put in them. So little things on our kitchen counters that we
Love
can
that
use.
little vessel. That vessel is so adorable.
I know, right?
Yeah, the canisters are amazing. Sue, do you ever make anything for hanging on the walls?
Yeah, every once in a while I get a little change of scene, and I like to create some small little, and it's, I mean, talk about spring. So these are really fresh and lively in your kitchen and on the wall, maybe powder room or something. They are mounted on the back. See, this one is labeled the small 6. So this is my little label that you can find it on the website on wall hanging page. But this is an industrial strength glue with picture wire. You know, it's got a huge, intense amount of tensile strength to hang on the wall. So that's overbuilt right there. But I have a small size and a large size. And I just allow myself a little room to play and do different designs.
Well, that's certainly getting me excited for the flowers that are coming up. That is wonderful.
It's coming.
Yeah. Do you make anything else for the home?
Another thing that I make for the home, I love to have really good smelling things in my home. I love to have lavender scents in one area. I love to have lemon in my own kitchen. I know that there's a lot of smells in the kitchen anyway, but lemon is really delicious in the kitchen. And of course, at Christmas time, balsam fir. So I make diffusers. These diffusers have the capacity here is maybe 6 ounces. And there are some balsa wood diffuser reeds that I like to, whenever the smell has gone down, I simply pick them up, turn them around, spread these sweet little sticks back out, and you can freshen up your room all over again. The oil you get to buy on your own, so you get to choose your favorite oil, and it lasts and lasts and lasts for years and years. And if anybody ever needs a replacement sticks, they can just find me through the website. And,
well, thank you so much. Your things really sort of give me that pick me up with those beautiful colors. And also, I mean, I just love seeing you present. So thank you so much. Our next artist for the afternoon is going to be Melissa Stiles of StubbornStiles. Take it away. And you can go ahead and, unmute yourself.
Got it. I'm Melissa Stiles of StubbornStiles. Everybody always asks me where my company name comes from. I had been playing with the idea of starting my own jewelry company, and I asked my husband what I should name it, and without any hesitation whatsoever, he's just like, stubborn. It's got to be stubborn. So I come by this honestly. I am a Taurus. I was born in the year of the ox, under the sign of the ox. And so we're notorious for being stubborn people. My children love this story about how that really highlights how stubborn I can be, is that when I was getting ready to go to college, I didn't have a major. And so I had to meet with a career counselor at, I went to Penn State University. And she really pressured me. She's like, you can't start without a major. So I made a list of a couple of options, and one of them was architecture. And she looked at my grades and my SAT scores, and she's like, there's no way you'll ever get into this program. So that was enough to fuel me to do a 5-year professional degree program in architecture and enter into architecture as a career for up to almost 8 years. So I stuck with it until my kids were born. And then I decided I wanted to be at home and like on hand for them a little bit more. But I still had this desire to create things. And I had all of this training in these like industrial materials and processes that I wanted to put to use because they were my vocabulary. They were like what I was most comfortable in. It kind of gives me a different edge. Like I'm not trained as an actual jeweler, but I do have, you know, a rigorous design training. So for example, like, you know, if you're designing a handrail or something, you start out with raw material. This is like a tube of aluminum, and you'll see like these similar shapes and sizes play part in my work. So for a long time, I explored different tubes and different combinations of tubing. I wanted to show, this is just kind of like one of, you know, an example, sorry, of just the raw material of the tubing itself and how beautiful it can be in catching the light. And like I said, it's an industrial material. From there, I felt like I was kind of limited with the size and shapes of tubes, and I wanted to branch out into a couple of different materials. And aluminum's not a material that you can easily like weld together or solder together. So I started checking out different ways of manipulating stainless steel. And as you can see, this is a blank of one of my bracelets, and it's laser cut. It's all rough and horrible, like there's some notches in it. But this sort of opened up like a whole new breadth of shapes and sizes for me. But I still incorporate like the original tubes in my work. I also had added a resin to the tubes themselves. And the thing I like about the resin, being an ex-architect, is that it has this surface to it where it's more of like a concrete than like a plastic resin. It has like a matte finish to it. And it also like takes color really well. So this piece has like a number of different colors that I sort of, you know, paint the resin within. And I don't know, this one's really tiny, but this has like a surface treatment of miniature marbles that I sprinkle into the resin while it's still drying, and it sets those in place. And I do that with these miniature marbles as well as pearls. And I've played with all kinds of different materials to infuse in that. And then from there, I also started using a powder coat finish, which again is a industrial finish. I like it because it's got bright, bold colors. And it kind of led me to this process of creating these cuff bracelets. And this is like one of my signature designs. They're really versatile. And the nice thing about the powder coating is that there's actually like elasticity. I don't know if you can see me moving this to the finish. And so where a lot of cuff bracelets can be limiting as far as sizing, it's nice because you can adjust these. Like, you know, once you get it on your hand, you can even squeeze it down again to make it fit, you know, any size wrist, if you want it larger or smaller. So yeah, that's been one of my key pieces.
Can we see that orange one in the back? The shape, I'm not able to, yes, that one.
Oh, this guy, yeah.
Yeah, the shape
This
is
is a newer one. And again, it's sort of, you know, it's a very, sorry, modern design, kind of retro style.
beautiful. So do you make custom orders, including like special sizes or colors? How does that work?
I do. It's a little more limiting on some pieces like the laser cut stainless steel with the powder coating, because kind of like if you think of modern furniture design, the idea was like, you know, the larger quantities of something you make, the lower the price can be. So I try to maintain a certain price point. So like the powder coated pieces, I can do custom orders. It's just a longer lead time. and a lot, you know, it's a little more limited. Whereas the resin pieces, something like this, I can make easily because it's all in-house. The other nice thing is that, just to keep in mind with the resin, you know, I make pieces like this. And in some cases, I can even do like a double-sided.
Oh, wow.
So there's just a slight color variation in this. And you could build it for, you know, any portion of your wardrobe. If you want, like, you know, more subtle gray tones to go with, you know, that little black dress that you wear out on the weekend, or if, you know, you need something for a very specific spring party with blue tones, it gives you that versatility. And I can usually build that into a lot of the resin pieces.
Has not traveling for shows allowed you to explore something further in your work?
I'm glad you asked that. I actually just started taking an online painting class because I'm home a lot more than I have been in the last 16 years. These are some of my trial, like, warm-up pieces in the back here. Not fully ready to show, you know, full-on paintings at this point. But the thing I noticed is that when I go back to, like, when I go between jewelry making and painting, it kind of plays a part. And so, you know, I've been playing with more of, like, shapes and colors that are a little more fluid, whereas, like, typically I have like a structured framework that resin fits into. But the painting is so fluid that, like, you know, I've started using the resin in that same way.
That's really exciting. Well, that's the beautiful thing about Art Party is we get to be here with you and see the evolution of these ideas. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Our next artist is going to be Barbara Poole from B.Felt. Welcome.
Hello, everybody, and welcome everybody. And thank you, hosts, for doing this. This is just absolutely wonderful to finally kind of get my work out to see people. I love this. I've been working in this medium, felting. I make hand felted garments and accessories since 2007, when the last market crashed. I was a painter. I'm a painter by training, and I like to think that my training comes out in my fiber work, in the use of color and line, because when I look at a piece, it's not just, okay, I'm going to attach a sleeve or jacket. I think of the whole jacket. What I wanted to talk about today was transition. It's gorgeous weather out in a lot of places here. I'm in Lowell, Massachusetts, birthplace of the textile revolution, and it's about 60 degrees out, but it's very, very gray. But I'll take the warmth. That means the earth has started to get warm and everything. Everything I make is made with wool. And I'm going to bring it up closer so you kind of see it. This is how it all begins. Little fluffy fibers. This is merino wool. I get most of my merino wool from a place in out in Oregon, and they import it mostly from England. I try not to do Australia or New Zealand. And I dye most of my own wool, and in bright colors. I like to say I make the stuff that goes with black. I know you're probably thinking, what doesn't go with black? I have to tell you, that is the number one question I get when I'm actually traveling and out in shows. And, you know, people will look at my thinking, well, will that go with black? I'm thinking, I've always like been totally flummoxed. Like, I don't know anything that doesn't go with black. But so my answer now is, no, everything I make goes with black. Absolutely. And as I said, right now, I'm really into color. I don't know about you, but I've been starved for color. This whole year has been, well, rather gray. So I have the shawl I'm wearing right now, I call them my holies. You can see it's all filled with holes, and that's HOLEY. I don't want to be, I don't want to be anti-religion or anything like that. And the holes are not just, I'm going to turn around. The holes are not just decorative, they're actually functional. So, you're out and about and your shawl is doing all this, it slips off, you don't know what to do with it, and you keep grabbing it and tugging at it. Well, I have a solution for you, because as far as I'm concerned, art has always been about solving problems, whether it's what color goes next to it or how do I hold my shawl on. And here, I pull it in, tuck it in, and now it's not going to go anywhere. And it also, let's say you're going out and it's chilly, you have to wear a coat, but your dress underneath has no sleeves. So you can need a shawl or something put over it, and a scarf. When you do it, you don't usually want to wear both. We can wrap this whole scarf around my neck and pop it through the holes. Again, it squishes all up nice and soft, and it's on your coat. And get to where you're going and just drop it over your shoulders, and you're completely fashionably dressed. Your little black dress is now bright and colorful. These new colors I'm calling it my citrus line. This one goes from the pink to the orange. I have orange to yellow. I have pink lemonade, and I also make them in chiffon. So for those people who are sensitive to wool, the chiffon is very, very sheer, very light, about 90%, 85% silk, and about 15% wool. The wool is only on those little dots. So if you're sensitive to wool, these are perfect. And these are actually wide enough also that you could wrap it around your neck, but you can also, I make them very generous in size. It'll sit on your little shoulders, and I call it like a shawlette. Just add a little color around your shoulders, or wrap it around your neck, however you want to wear it. And your best.
Your work is just so lovely, Barbara. And I love that you showed us the raw material that you use in combination. Is there any sewing involved?
No, that's a great question. When I started this, one of the first challenges I had was I needed a dress, and I don't sew. So the first thing I discovered is that you don't have to sew to make these. I'm going to show you one of my jackets. I'll show you this is a surprise. This is a brand new one. These are my illusion jackets. This one is called Dreaming of Van Gogh.
Wow.
There is no sewing involved. The seams are all put together by the wool. What happens is the wool passes through the silk and then crunches down and acts as the binding. And these jackets are also a wonderful transition piece. This one is not on my website though, but yeah, if I step back this way.
Well, we love to see the new previews. That's half the fun, right? So, and I'm sure people can just email you from your website about that piece, right?
Right.
Okay. Good. But we are the first ones to see it, which is really awesome.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Van Gogh is all about color also. And I've done it in poppy. Poppy is really very popular. Poppies, beautiful, beautiful poppies.
Oh yes, that's gorgeous. How did you start making felt accessories and garments?
Well, my kids, I'm a painter by training. And whenever I was painting, and I'd had shows, I had gallery representation. After a show, I'd always have what I call artem. I post-artem. I just I don't ever make another painting again. I'm depressed. I can't do this. So, but I'm a person that likes to make things. So I had a kit to make a scarf, and I made the scarf, and I fell in love with the process because it's the only process that comes close to painting. Because you start with raw materials, little fuzz. You take a stick that has hair on it. You push your paint around. Well, in this case, I take the raw wool, I lay it down, and I add water and soap, and I use my little fingers to squish it around. It's very similar. And with felting, I can do I can build whole worlds just as I did with painting. I can make things that are very, very substantial, or I can make them, as gossamer, as light as air.
Oh, isn't that beautiful? Well, thank you so much for sharing your work with us today, Barbara. It's just really inspiring. We're going to go on to our next artist, which is Alicia Niles Glass. Alicia, please take it away.
Hi, and welcome everyone, and thank you. Nice to say it's the first time I've been on Art Party, so I'm looking forward to showing you some of my work. I'm a glass bead maker. I've been working with glass pretty much for the last 30 years, but working with hot glass and making glass beads since 2009. I, just fell in love with glass, and I fell in love with the process of making glass beads. You can sort of start and create these absolutely wonderful little worlds in glass. One of the things that I'm mostly known for is using a lot of very vibrant colors, but as well creating very, very large blown glass beads. So this is a piece that I did. I started this in 2009 and started blowing these very large glass, but they're very, very light. So they're easy to wear, and you can add, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them without feeling any kind of the weight. I used to put them on silver, but now I find that I put them on leather because it makes the piece adjustable. So simply by pulling the ends of the leather, I can wear it much, much shorter. And because of the beads are quite large, you get a lot of room on each individual bead to kind of play with things like dots. I love dots. So play with dots, or sometimes pieces are sandblasted, which gives it that sort of velvety look. But it's a fun way to get a very large piece without adding any of the weight. And because it's adjustable, you could wear it, throw it on over a turtleneck, or you could wear it up short on that little black dress. So that's one that I've been doing for quite a while, these large glass beads for quite a while. But then I start to play with some of the sizes as well, and some of the color work on that. This is one of my newer pieces. And this is where I'm playing with the, I'm not sure if you can see in the light all that well, where I'm playing with the sandblasting and the stripes. So there's variations of reds and blues, and I always like to play off complementary colors. So adding those touches of turquoise and cornflower to sort of pick up some of the colors of the reds. I do love to play with textiles, but my former self worked in textiles quite a lot. So, and I am definitely a knitter from long back, but here I've combined the sandblasted and blown glass beads with ultra suede ribbon, and it gives it that sort of fun texture without adding any weight to the piece. So you get a really big presence. Now, the fun thing about these necklaces is that they're fully adjustable, so that they're strung on leather, and they have this little bead at the back, which allows you to slide it along, and then you can simply put it over your head. Let's pull the old one off. So that you could wear it long if you wanted to, or you just pull the slider bead and wear it shorter. So it's really, really easy to adjust. And if you've got, issues with trying to put lobster claws together, or in the case of glass, I don't like using a lot of magnetic clasps because there's always a chance of it falling off. This allows you to wear it at all different lengths. It's super easy to put on. One of the more popular ones that I have are, again, these large beads, but this time I put it with a faceted glass bead, and these are all glass. So this one I call my nugget bead, and I literally, while the glass is blown and hot, I use a marver. It's kind of like a pancake squisher, and I literally heat a spot and squish it. So I love making those sort of sculptural beads because they're just really fun to play with and fun to create. So each one will be different. And just like getting that great, that beautiful jacket with the gorgeous lining in it, where it's absolutely perfect. Again, I sometimes play with picking up the color from the bead to add to the slider bead or the closure bead, and the little things on the end too. So any of the pieces that I do them in a range of colors. So I do this one in everything from white and gold and black and red and amber, blue, bright red, dark red. So as many colors as I can come up with, basically. Now, am I hitting the?
Yes, no, we have time for a few more things and a question or two. How did you get started making glass beads?
I'm primarily self-taught, actually. I went to a craft show and I saw somebody whose work I really liked. And I just sort of said, so how do you do this? And she kind of said, well, look at this website and look at that website. And I did. I went and took a weekend workshop and I was absolutely bitten. I bought every piece of equipment I could find. I bought about 5 books and I literally opened the book at page 1 and made that bead for the next 3 days and then moved on to page 2 and made that bead. But I've always been absolutely obsessed with color. So I've there is just no end of the colors that you can find in glass and the transparencies and sandblasting them and combining the different colors. And I do combine it as well sometimes with different materials. So these are Morse code necklaces and I combine them with leather and glass beads and each necklace says something different. So this one says in Morse code, be true, be bold. But then there's other ones like this one that have a funkier saying. So this one says badass woman. So this is the one you want to wear when you want to just sort of go out and kick ass, so to speak.
Love that.
Yeah.
So where do you get the inspiration for these pieces?
Oh, again, I love sort of the color and the shape. So anytime I'm out and about, and this is the beauty of technology now that, you've got a camera and a computer in your pocket. And so I may find inspiration from, the graffiti on the building to flowers in the garden. And I'll often just take a little bit of it and maybe the texture, it doesn't have the color to it. And then I start playing by combining the textures that I see around and then adding in the color. But it's always color centered, whatever I do and whatever I design.
Oh, wonderful. Can you show us one of your last favorite pieces here? I know that's going to be a hard choice. Well, we have time for one more piece.
So this one is one I have had fun playing with this one. It's like the one where I couldn't quite choose just one bead to work with, so I wanted to work with all of them. And people sort of often say, oh, it looks like playing with your mother's button box, all the different colors and shapes of the buttons. And again, it's on the adjustable leather so that you can easily put it on and adjust the sizes and shapes. And these larger beads are blown, so it's very, very light. And I do this in, I think, 4 or 5 different colorways as well. So they're a lot of fun to work with.
Thank you so much. We're so glad to have you here on Art Party Central, and it's wonderful hearing the inspiration and the process behind. We'll ask more questions at the end of the art party, but for now, we're going to go on to our next artist, which is Angela Flaviani. Take it away, Angela.
Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Angela Flaviani from Bottega Flaviani, and I'm coming to you from San Francisco, California. I wanted to show you today some of my newer pieces, some of my accessories, and some of the favorite pieces in the collection, plus a bag that I'm working on, a prototype that I always like to show a little bit of what I'm working on and what will hopefully come down the pipeline in the future. So what I'd like to do is show you a brand new bag that I'm just debuting today. I actually showed the prototype at a previous art party, and this piece is called the Grace. Grace was inspired by my trips to New York when I did other shows, and everybody there said, I love your totes, but I will never buy a bag if it does not come with an exterior pocket. I need to put my metro ticket in my exterior pocket and my phone. And sure enough, that's what I did. I built the Grace with 2 exterior pockets on the front, and on the interior, there's a magnetic closure with an interior pocket as well. It has a shorter strap than I normally do on my bags, but I think it's a little more modern touch, and it keeps it close to the body. This particular piece here is made out of an Italian calf suede, and the leather is sent to New York, and the snakeskin print is fused onto the leather. So right now I have this piece in 3 different colorways. The white snake, I have it in a rose gold with a brown strap. This is a new colorway for spring, as well as a black shimmer. And same with all my shimmer suedes. They're Italian calf suede leather. The leather, again, is then sent to New York, and the shimmer motif is fused onto the leather, and it's permanently affixed to the leather. So you can see this particular bag, how it hangs. And this is the Grace. One of my other pieces, one of my other favorite pieces that everybody seems to love is the Tribeca. Ironically, I seem to have a lot of New York-based names. The Tribeca was initially called that because I thought you could wear it 3 ways. But as I started to work with the bag, I realized there's actually 5 different ways that you can wear it. This particular piece is the Tribeca. It's born with a wristlet that's detachable, and each one of the bags comes with its own individual crossbody strap. And it's a crossbody strap that gives you the versatility in this bag. You add the crossbodies to the 2 D-rings on either side, and you can wear it over the shoulder, across the body, as a sling, like you see here, or wrap it around your waist, and it becomes a belt bag, like I'm wearing now. So the Tribeca is a perfect little piece that can carry everything for you, all of your essentials, and gives you the versatility to change and carry it the way you want, whenever you need. Another great favorite is the Tara. The Tara was a smaller version of my bag one and the Tara are origami pieces. It's one solid piece of leather folded together and stitched down the sides to create this piece. The bag is made of an Italian nuvolato patent leather. Nuvolato means cloudy in Italian. And what happens is they add the color to the leather by hand, and therefore giving it a mottled look instead of a flat beige or fuchsia color. So this one, when you see the bag, you'll see the depth of the color in the leather. And this particular piece is suede lined in an orange suede. It has a zipper closure, and you can see the interior bag is suede lined with an interior pocket as well. The Tara comes with a crossbody strap. So again, giving you that versatility to wear it as a crossbody, over the shoulder, or as a satchel. Some of the fun accessories that people are loving now of mine are my bracelets. So I work in both metal and leather. All of these are vegetable tan leather with metal accessories. I'm wearing 3 of the different style bracelets now on my shoulder, or on my arm. The first one was named after my grandmother, the Ophelia. And I named it after her because when I first made it, what did I see but the O for Ophelia? It's a simple magnetic closure. You can see here, that just unsnaps. You hook it on your wrist and you just snap it shut. To take it off, it's like snapping your fingers. And you can see the Ophelia is offered in nickel, yellow gold, and new for this spring, rose gold, with all different vegetable tanned leathers on top. The other piece, which is a wonderful men's piece, but a lot of women like it too, is the braided, I'll grab one of the brown ones, is the braided leather bracelet. And that too is a magnetic closure, opens and closes. But the number one piece that everybody loves is the spaghetti. Spaghetti is my favorite comfort food. And that was the first thing I thought of when I made this piece. It looked like spaghetti to me. So again, you just hook the leather or hook the metal attachment, wrap the leather around 3 times, and the magnetic closure clasps and holds the piece in place. It's as simple.
I love the idea that you were inspired by spaghetti. I mean, and that it's a comfort thing. It's awesome.
What can I say? I'm Italian.
Exactly. Can you show us the big tote in the back?
Oh, sure. How did you know this was a tote? This bag here, you're so ingenious. This bag here is actually a prototype that I'm working on. This is a backpack that I designed to carry my computer. But I have a lot of strategically placed D-rings everywhere that the shoulder strap you can throw over, wear it as a backpack, or you can take it apart, unclasp the hooks, clasp them on either side, and it becomes a tote bag or a shoulder bag. And this too comes with 2 pockets in the front. The interior has a sleeve for a computer, and I fit my MacBook Pro in here. And then it has a large body compartment. So this piece here is still a prototype. And I'm still working through some of the pattern pieces and some of the makeup of it. But again, falls under that versatility piece, a bag that you can actually wear 3 ways and will conform to you and will be worn the way you want to.
I love when we have these debuts at Art Party. It's really wonderful. I mean, that's kind of what it's all about, being up close and personal and being the first to see the process. Thank you so much, Angela. We're going to move on to Judith Haas from Judith Haas Jewelry. Judith, please take it away.
Hi there, I'm Judith Haas. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a jeweler and also make fine art. I'm originally from the Netherlands, but I've been living in Europe now for many years. And I make my art and jewelry all individually in my workspace in Brooklyn. And the last few years, I've been able to sell it at Grand Central Holiday Fair and also had a kiosk there. And now that that is on pause, I'm happy to have found this platform at Art Party Central to show my work. So let me show you first the newest piece that I've been working on. It's this silver bracelet, and it's inspired by Persian lamps because I miss being able to travel overseas. And it's gold that is fused, the base is fine silver that I fused with fine gold with heat and pressure. So there are no adhesions used, just heat and pressure. The technique is called kumbu. And then the black you see is just oxidized silver. So basically there's just silver and gold, and they are very easily adjustable. So you can make it as small as you need to, they don't break. And these also have some matching necklaces, earrings. They are made from the same mixture of metals, but then also have, this one has a little cultivated sapphire set in it. And then the earrings have a black onyx. And in the black onyx, I set the sapphire. And there are some other pieces that are match rated. And then I also have a line that is that are rings, and these ones you can maybe see they are all open in the front, so this way you can wear them on different fingers. This one has a rutilated quartz and sterling silver, and then here you can see it's open in the back. This one is open in the front and has moonstone, and the gold is a 14 karat recycled gold, and then silver band. I have a few more that are here that I want to show you. They are, for example, this one is pink opal, and this one is rutilated quartz. This is one of the newest pieces that are that is also like my earrings, onyx with a sapphire set in it, and then sterling silver band with a gold 14 karat gold ball. And with the same technique, but a different mixture of metals, I make also art, which is made in brass that are oxidized and then hand engraved into. And these are inspired by how nature reclaims the urban environment. So when metals are being exposed to heat, to different elements, they turn different colors. and they give this colorful patina that basically always comes out in a different way. And then I sometimes hand bake on the piece, like this one. And so I have more colors in it. And with the same technique, I also make these bracelets. And the good thing about these ones is also that they're lined with felt, so it doesn't give any problems with your skin. And I have a matching necklace, this one for example. And these ones are also lined with felt. And the earrings that are kind of a little bit larger, they have always a sterling silver post, so it shouldn't give any problems. And I have also some spin, the newest piece. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions.
Yeah, that pin is lovely. Judith, can you hold it up a little bit closer?
Oh yeah, I didn't show it that well, did I? So that is brass that I oxidize, and then this one is hand painted on it. And it has a very secure closing that is with so something to make sure that it doesn't pinch you.
It's beautiful. And so how do you take care of your jewelry?
So the good thing about the silver jewelry that I use is that they are 99% silver, and as opposed to, so fine silver, as opposed to sterling silver that is only 92.5% silver and other metals. So they don't tarnish so much, so you don't have to clean them. And the black is of course already oxidized. And then I also have the pieces in brass. They're also already oxidized, but then I seal them with a clear lacquer so they don't tarnish any further. And basically you don't have to clean them either.
Oh, that's just beautiful. I love how you're incorporating the painting into the jewelry and going back and forth. It's really, incredible because it's artwork that you're creating. How many of each piece are actually available?
Mostly about 2. I try to make 2 of each, and then when it's sold out, I don't always make them again. But if you want to have something remade that looks like it's sold out, with a bit of patience, I can make them again. They might not always come out the same because of the patina has so many variables in what kind of color it will turn into.
Well, thank you so much, Judith. I just
Thank
really
you for having me again.
And that wraps us up with our artists today, but we're going to be speaking with them again at our after party. I want to thank you all of the artists for sharing their stories and showing us their incredible work. We also want to thank you as well for being here. As we draw the raffle prizes, we want to let you know how much we appreciate you. You are the reason that we make our work in the first place, and showing up today and being a part of these parties brings us inspiration, hope, and fills up our creative pools. We are loving having this platform to connect with you and cannot wait to see it grow with your help. Your follows, your likes, shares on social media mean the world to us, so please keep it up. And don't forget to tell your friends about how much fun you had with us today. So now it's time for us to begin choosing the winners of the gift certificates. So we're going to choose one winner for each of the websites randomly from everyone that is still on the party. Oops, and excuse me for my timer going off. We encourage everyone to unmute yourselves now and cheer for the winners. See if I think my timer is still going off, but we'll try to get that resolved. I'm going to say this once. So if you are one of the lucky winners, we need to post your name and email. Please post your name and email in the chat so we can email you your gift certificates after the event. And this is especially important if your Zoom name is different, so we can find you. So now we are going to begin telling who won. For Chi Pottery, little drum roll here, it's Brenda House. Congratulations, Brenda.
Hey, Brenda.
Yay. Our next artist from Melissa of Stubborn Styles. The winner is Jan Abraham. Congratulations, Jan. For Barbara of B.Felt, the winner is Iris Harris.
Yay!
Congratulations, Iris.
Thank you.
And for Alicia and Niles Glass, the winner is Jessica Toke.
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
Fantastic.
congratulations. And for Bottega Flaviani, the winner is Jill Wilkelman. Congratulations, Jill.
Thank you.
And our sixth and final winner of the day is for Judith Haas Jewelry, and that is Beth Smith. Congratulations, Beth. Congratulations to all of the winners. And because we want everyone to leave feeling like they have won something, you all will receive a coupon code for 10% off of all the Six Makers website, as well as my website at ekologic.com and the website of Sam, who is our lovely co-host this evening, which is swanandstone.com. The coupon will be good for today through March 17th. So head over to the websites and do some retail therapy or find some great gifts. The coupon code for today's party is March 11, MAR11 Art Party. We will put that code in the chat so you can see that. And we will also be sending up a follow-up email to everyone with this code and the links to the websites of everyone who has been on the party today. So I want to give you a heads up for next week. Please join us again if you can. Next week, we are going to be having Lorac Designs, Suzanne Schwartz Jewelry, Shanna Croy Jewelry, Carla Goodian Art and Design, Megan Patrice Riley Jewelry, and Elements Jill Schwartz. And this will be the show for Saturday. So come on back Saturday. All you have to do to show up to the party is to RSVP at artpartycentral.org. We will have a link there for you. And remember, it's free. So come and join us again. I want to give a shout out to my wonderful co-host, Sam Stone of Swan&Stone today. She has been back there making sure that everything ran smoothly. So thank you so much, Sam. And please visit her website to see the incredible hats that they make at Swan&Stone. So I think I can speak for all of the artists today by saying, you guys rock. We miss seeing you in person terribly, but this has been such a great way to stay connected. We know you're all busy. So for those that would like to stay and hang out and ask questions, we invite you to unmute yourself and chat. And for those of you that have to go, we just want to say thank you so much for spending an hour with us. We truly appreciate you. Okay, with that said, we're going to stay on for just an extra few minutes to answer any lingering questions. We hope to see you all again. Thanks so much for joining us. Does anyone have any questions? Or Sam, have you been collecting the questions in the chat for us?
I have a question for Sue Shannon. I sent it to her via chat.
Okay, go ahead, Sue.
Okay, so hi Ziva. So we won't take up everybody's time too much, and we just have some quick things that everybody can check it out. So for the soap pumps, these are hand trimmed to meet the size of each piece. These threads, it's just one plastic piece. It's glued on with an industrial strength epoxy type glue. And I have been able to help people repair these. I've only had one person out of, selling these for 4 years that has ever actually broken this piece off. So this is pretty bummer. And these little pumps, They're just pretty straightforward. They fit specifically on these threads, size 28/400, if that means anything to anybody. Does that answer your question, Ziva?
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, it does.
Okay, great, thanks.
Is there any other customer questions out there for any of the artists?
Kathleen, this is Jan Abraham. I just have a quick question. This was really a lot of fun, and I know you put a lot of time and thought into it. I was just curious, how long have you been doing it? This is the first one I've been to, and I think it was a great idea.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Jan, for joining us. And what a great question. This, I believe, is the 70th art party. So we have been doing these for a while. It's pretty amazing. I know there were 5 businesses. We all came together wondering how we were going to weather this pandemic together. And that is how Art Party was born. We reached out together, brainstormed, and thought, let's bring other artists along and make this platform. So thank you for coming. We're going to continue doing this. We really believe that the future for artists and connectivity to their customer is through virtual. Even when it opens up, we see that it's going to be sort of a partner to what we have going on in our lives as artists. So we hope that you'll continue to follow us.
Okay. You said 70th.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. We actually, Sam, what do you think our first, well, the first one that we did as co-founders was, I believe, in April or May of last year. So, and then when we really developed the platform, we began opening it up to other artists right away.
That was great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the question. Sam, do you have other pieces, questions for us?
I just wrote down questions that came up in the chat that we didn't have a chance to answer. And I think a couple of them were actually answered within the chat, but some of them are kind of useful for everyone. So I'm going to start with Alicia. And I'm just going to spotlight you real quick so you can show us. So Alicia, there were questions about how sturdy the glass is, and is it heavy, and sort of, can you just elaborate a little bit more on, and you know, just so you know, I think you have some fans here, because you did have a customer respond and attest to this, to, you know, the fact that the glass is not too heavy and that she enjoys wearing it. But why don't you tell us a little bit about that yourself? I think I'm sorry, you're muted.
Oh.
There we go.
Because I'm able to blow the glass itself, it allows me to sort of blow it so that it's larger, which reduces the weight, but I don't blow it so that the wall of the glass is so thin that it's not like a Christmas ornament where you can kind of put your thumb right through it. So wearing the piece itself, I've never had anybody break it just wearing it. Now, occasionally it gets dropped, and that happens. If you broke a bead and it was just an accident, I had one customer who very carefully wrapped up her necklace in her t-shirt while she was traveling and put it in the suitcase, promptly got to her destination, picked up the t-shirt, and of course it went flying across the room. So a bead broke, and for the most part, you just ship me back the necklace, I replace the bead and ship it back to you. But because these are on leather now, they're quite easy to replace as well. You can simply undo the leather, slip it through the rings, and replace the bead. So I can ship you the bead directly, and you can replace it yourself, whichever is most comfortable.
Oh, that's great. They're just so beautiful. I love them. And I loved looking at your website while you were talking. I hope people do take that opportunity to kind of cruise through the websites, because seeing all the different colors it's such a joy. I'm so excited that you've joined our party.
I was gonna say, while you're on all our websites, sign up for all our newsletters too,
Yes.
because we always have tons of really great things coming out. And I'm sure, I can't speak for all the artists, but we don't pester you with newsletters, you know, every 2 hours or something. So and we
not the media moguls that maybe the marketing. So thank you so much for that, Alicia. And then Melissa, I don't know you know, again, you may have answered this, but there was a question about the earrings that you're wearing right now. Someone wanted to know if they're heavy, and she said, I love, love, love them. So maybe you could tell us about those.
So I just started making these, and I feel like they're pretty lightweight. Like, I don't like make anything that's gonna weigh a whole lot, but I do make these in a couple different sizes. There's a smaller version of this that I don't have on my website yet, but if somebody wants to email me, I can send them photos and a link for those specific earrings.
Okay.
I also wanted to add, somebody mentioned that they joined the party late, and so I just wanted to remind everyone that there's another party later today, and then you can watch all of this again on the Art Party Central website, like if you weren't able to make the later party.
I'm so
Or
glad.
if you had so much fun,
Right,
if you want to do this all day long.
Right. I'm so glad you said that, Melissa, and I'm so happy to have you as one of our new artists. It's really wonderful
Yeah.
to see your work.
It's been a great experience.
Yeah.
And actually, what's so wonderful about, if you do go to the website to look at previous parties, is if you wanted to trigger a memory of something that, say, a bag that Angela showed you, you could just scroll through. You could just fast forward to that moment so that you can see exactly what it was that kind of inspired you in the first place.
That's right. I'm always that bag one. I know the pink one has a different name than the original one, but that bag just floats my boat. I have a softness for the patent leather.
Yeah.
But
So,
Angela, I know you do. Yeah, I know you do things for men also. We did get to see that bracelet, but do you have anything else for men that you'd like to show?
Yeah, well,
Or men and women?
asking, yeah, there's a couple versatile pieces. I keep trying to expand the men's collection. So I'm known for my belts. I'll grab the gray one because it'll probably show a little bit better. I'm known for my leather belts. They're made out of a solid piece of leather calfskin with brass buckles and brass hardware, and I have them available in 4 colors. They're perfect for men or women. They're 1 1/4 inch in width. And the 4 colors available are black, chocolate brown, navy, and the graphite gray. And the graphite gray is actually a water buffalo hide, a little bit different than some of the traditional leathers. But some of the other pieces in the smaller accessory collections are small credit card wallets that I'm working on for men. This is this is a 4-pocket credit card wallet. You can see 1, 2, 3, and 4 pockets with a space inside for money. And then for women, and I actually have quite a few women who use a credit card wallet, a small envelope wallet with a snap closure and suede lined on the inside with an accent color. So these are small things, great for business cards. This used to be my wallet for the longest time. Credit card, driver's license, ATM, and some cash. And that's all I needed. And my business cards. And it all fit in here. And I work with small, soft leathers that expand and they'll grow with you. And so the leather will begin to stretch and you'll find that the wallet actually gets bigger in time and can carry more things.
Mm. I love when products start to imprint, your habits in them. It's really one of my favorite things about worn and loved things. Thank you, Angela. I actually would like to tease a story out of Barbara Poole, if we can. Barbara, can you tell us the story of your most challenging commission while showing us some other pieces?
Oh, my most challenging commission.
I definitely want to hear this story.
My most challenging commission came about, I did the Sausalito Art Festival, Sausalito, and this woman came into my booth. And I don't have anything that'll come across and she's looking at my work and she said, I really like your work. Could you make me something special? And she takes me aside and she's like, I'm a stripper. So she wanted me to make her a costume that could accommodate her snake. She strips with a boa constrictor on her body so that when it's all undressed, she has this snake slithering over her. So it was essentially, I had to make it was a jumpsuit that would pull apart, so the snake had a pocket in it, so she could use the snake out and it would crawl out of the pocket.
Oh my goodness.
And it was made out of, it was sheer, absolutely pretty see-through with the felt placed judiciously.
Well, and I think, being that it's natural fibers, I'm sure the snake approved. There must have been something about the materials you were using that she thought, oh, wow, this is going to be perfect for my snake.
Well, yes, because the wool has a texture. Wool is actually an abrasive thing, and the snake liked it because it's like sand. It felt it snake skin. I had no idea. Snakes are extremely sensitive to tough things. Yeah. And liked it. It felt comfortable laying on the wool. Like she tried other things and it was the wool it liked.
Oh my goodness. How incredible. So half the time we don't even know who our customers are, right? We learn these things. It's so inspiring. Do show this piece. When you were please show us more with this piece.
Okay, this one is not part of the jacket line. I wanted, the jacket, the illusion line. So it was, the costume would have, areas that were completely see-through, and the wool blocks it. As you can see, the wool is opaque, but the sheer, so it was basically, she had pasties that were basically on the clothes, not on her body.
That's awesome.
And I probably undercharged hugely. I bet she made more tips than I did making it.
She may have, and you made that snake really happy.
I hope you gave her a bunch of business cards to hand out.
I don't think her clients.
Oh no, but
to the other ladies backstage.
Yeah, the other ladies backstage. Or I was thinking that it would be a present that the significant other brought home to surprise their lovely partners.
Yeah.
When you started talking about a snake, that wasn't the kind of snake I was expecting you to be talking about.
I never met a snake.
It's just
I left California, made it in Boston, and shipped it back out there. And it was
that is really cool. Well, now Sam, did we have a question for Judith? Judith, can you show us a few more of your lovely pieces?
So someone had asked, sorry, Judith, I'm just going to spotlight you, but someone had asked to see more wall art, please, she said.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I have quite a few more pieces. They are all different metal copper alloys. So they have some copper in it. They're either bronze, copper, or brass. And this one, for example, I used a lino cut and then printed with the patina on the art. So you can see some patterns in there. And so basically, the art that I make starts from the size of a postcard, which you can probably find on my website on a postcard, if I remember well, which to the size of 2 by 3 feet. I don't know if that's well lit. No, it's not so good to see. But 2 by 3 feet art pieces. Yeah, so there's maybe one more I can show you here. This one is brass. I hand engraved into it so you can see the brass underneath. And then also I hand painted on it. So when you expose the brass to heat and kind of household acids, it turns all these different colors, which I think is beautiful.
It's really lovely. I love how it's just so organic and the textures and details. It has a lot of depth. You can really look into the piece.
Yeah, the different layers. Kind of reminds me of how paint peels off on metal in in the kind of, older buildings. That's what it's inspired by.
Well, thank you so much. If we don't have any other questions, we will wrap up for the evening. I want to thank everyone for coming. One last call. Is there any other questions out there before we say goodbye? All right, I think it's time for us to say goodbye for the evening. Thank you so much for coming. We hope you will come again. And just so you know, you will be receiving an email with the code and all of the artists today, their websites,